Hello everybody, this is Starman and welcome back to Let's Play the Pandora Directive Mission Street. Well, we're here in Malloy's apartment. We just got knocked out. Which is kind of good news because it means we're probably onto something.
Nice wastebasket.
And even though it looks like there were scraps of paper in there, we can't pick them up.
Yeah, looks like a...
And we'll go ahead and check all of these wonderful drawers.
envelope. Nothing to find.
Nothing there.
Yeah, it's an old photo. Look at it. I shudder to think about all the butts that have sat in that cushion through the ages.
Especially probably Nilo's. Ugh.
Damn. No spare change under here. These boxes are empty. Wonder what they're doing here.
Giving us one more object to contemplate.
Airport of the Gods. My Uncle Marty owned a whole series of these books. Go-Karts of the Gods, Lunch of the Gods. The label on the box says it was shipped from Mexico.
Huh.
No play, bub. I never look at these personally, but I do remember this one. It was the Amazon Woman edition featuring 37 pages of full-color pictures. Nice. Man, what's this? Looks like a scarf.
A scarf left on the bed with no sheets.
Ooh, this scarf reeks of cheap perfume. I guess Malloy must have had a lady friend in for a visit. And if the lady friend wore this scarf anywhere else in the neighborhood, she'd be pretty hard to forget. Maybe I should show this thing around and see what I can find out. What a fabulous view.
Hello?
This looks like a pawn ticket of some kind. Looks like a letter.
Alright, well we've got a fair bit of material to go through.
I wonder who this David Wright is. And more importantly, if Malloy's been to his cabin in Oregon.
Let's see. Dear Thomas, I was delighted to receive your letter after all these years. It sounds as though your work is progressing well, and I look forward to having a few of our all-night discussions, just like in the old days. You're certainly welcome to stay at my cabin as long as you'd like. It's extremely secluded, a perfect place to get away from prying eyes. I can't meet you for at least a week, but I'll get there when I can. In the meantime, there's a key to the door under the brick by the front steps. I've come across an item I think you'll find interesting. I look forward to working out an exchange of information. The cabin is located exactly 8.4 miles south by southwest from a small town in Oregon called Salmonberry. You'll probably need to find a good map. It'll be good to see you again. Okay, receipt from the pawn shop.
Looks like Rook did some business with Mr. Malloy. I wonder if Rook could let me redeem this receipt. Who am I kidding? He'll do anything if the price is right. Ooh.
Okay.
I loved this book when I was a kid. Aliens, spaceships, mysterious structures. Then I grew up and realized it was all a load of crap. Looks like Malloy made a special llama pal back in his younger days.
Let's see. Regan, age 3. And an airmail envelope with an untranslated letter.
Whoever wrote this has worse penmanship than I do. Either that or it's written in some weird language.
Okay, then the business card.
This warehouse is just down the street from the Ritz.
Alright, well, that has taken us through everything we found, given us a few leads. I feel like we're forgetting something.
Oh man, Chelsea's gonna kill me. I didn't realize how long I was out. God, almost 16 hours. I was out cold straight through our dinner date. She's never gonna believe me.
Well, first things first, we're going to apologize.
I fly my speeder to the Four Gables apartment building where Chelsea lives. Luckily, or maybe not, she doesn't answer the door. For the time being, I can save my groveling apology for later and go back to working on my case.
Well, as long as we're here on the big map, let's take a quick trip over to the cabin.
David Wright's cabin is out in the middle of nowhere. The place appears to be totally abandoned. The door's unlocked, but as soon as I step inside, I sense something wrong. Like I'm just about to open a carton of milk that's been sitting out in the sun too long. The rag's got brown stains all over it. No, that's blood.
Okay, not looking good for whoever was here.
Interesting. I bet this'll run on my computer back at the office. This must be Mr. Wright, the owner of the cabin. That's an interesting picture. Some sort of ancient temple. Nice rockwork on the fireplace. These books look like they've been tossed around, like somebody was rifling through them.
Oh, and that broken window is...
This window looks like it's been broken for a while. I'd guess the cabin's been unoccupied ever since, or someone would have covered the hole. These books look like they've been tossed around.
So yeah, somebody definitely went tearing through here. You know, got bloody bandages.
Nice wad of paper.
Okay, and this appears to be a page from the Cosmic Connection newsletter. Another witness to the bizarre events of July 1947 may have been New Mexico Lieutenant Governor Joseph Montoya. According to sources close to Montoya, he visited the military base shortly after the UFO crash, and when speaking to friends, soon appeared very pale, almost white, shaking, and very, very scared. After consuming half a quart of whiskey, Montoya told his friends that he had seen 4 little men. He described their size, short, skinny-like facial features, big eyes, the mouth was real small like a cut across piece of wood, and went on to say that one was alive. While these excerpts of conversation are subjective and impossible to authenticate, they are one of thousands that indicate the fact that there was indeed a UFO crash, followed by a massive government cover-up contributed by AE. And with this puzzle of the month, fill in the grid, so there are 4 blue squares, 3 red, 3 white, 3 green, 3 yellow. No horizontal, vertical, or diagonal can have more than 1 square with the same color. Good luck. So it's a puzzle we've got. That seems like an odd place to hang a picture.
Seems like a strange place to hang a painting.
Man, I'm starting to think like text. That's kind of frightening. But...
a security keypad. I guess whatever's behind the door must be important. This door's locked, and I don't see a place for a key. Must be hooked up to some type of keyless entry system.
That's a nice little subtle hint that they give you there to look around at stuff in case you look at the door before you notice the weird painting. But that is in fact all we can do here at the moment, unless we head back to our office and check out the computer room. So I'll go ahead and use the CD from the cabin.
Well, that won't work.
And sure enough, just like that one puzzle that just happened to be out on the floor, we have to find a way to set up a pattern that will have all of these together without being diagonal. Now we need to have the 4 on rows where it's not diagonally touching each other. Okay, so we've got that. They're not on any diagonal plane next to each other. And then it's just a matter of fitting in everything else so it meets the same criteria. So I'll put white there, then maybe a green one there, green one there, green one there. I'll do a red there. Red there. Yellow there. Actually, we'll go and put a green. Nope. Put a white one there. And then switch that one with the white with the green there, except then they'll put that there. So put a white one there instead. We'll put red there, and yellow there, and yellow there. Haha! And then that gives us that little pattern there. Better jot that down real quick. Alright, next. And the Maya stand alone amongst early Mesoamerican cultures, as evidenced in the Dresden Codex, a native book of pictures of explanatory hieroglyphs. Portions of the codex date back thousands of years, and some of the contents, such as tables predicting eclipses and tables of the cycles of the planet Venus, are highly scholarly and would have been meaningful only to trained astronomical experts. Their knowledge is even more amazing in light of the fact that all these observations of Venus had to be done with the naked eye. The Maya knew with great accuracy the exact solar year, but rather than adjusting their calendar by adding extra days as we do for leap year, they added a corrective formula that indicated how many days away from the correct seasonal position the 365-day calendar was at that particular time. The corrective formula revealed an extremely accurate notion of solar phenomena. In fact, the Maya year was more accurate than our present Gregorian year, which was not introduced as the standard calendar in Western civilization until 1582, over 1,000 years later. Michael D. Cove found that the Mayan culture was intrusive, seen as a band of outsiders with a vastly superior civilization. Where did the outsiders come from? 1. There's nothing that we know that relates this culture to any other in the world. 2. None of the artifacts found to date show evidence of Eastern Hemispheric origins. There's much speculation about the origin of the Maya. One linguistic researchers point out an interesting fact concerning the story of the Tower of Babel in the Old Testament. While the Old Testament was supposedly written well before the Maya flourished, the Mayan word Babel, or Babel, means confusion. Moreover, the Mayan expression meaning to speak in confusion is Babel Tan. What do the inclusion of Mayan words in languages of Asia and Europe indicate? Is it possible to conclude that within the Mayan context there existed in effect a primitive language from which other world languages are derived? I don't want to say it was aliens, but it was aliens. There's every indication that the early Maya were a tremendously religious people. Their energy in worship and providing the trappings for worship was unflagging. More than this, religious participation seems to have been the keystone that bound social classes into a cooperative functioning system. The Mayans' principal deity was undoubtedly Itzamat, the sky god. They believe that he was sent to Earth by Hurub-Ku, the one god. According to most accounts, Itzamat came from the eastern sky. He was also his greatest astrologist, lawgiver, and high priest. Mayans also believe that there were 4 Chakas, gods who controlled the world from the 4 compass points. Maya ceremonies were directed toward appeasing many different gods: Hunahu, the god of death; Ixchil, the god of the moon; Kolochan, the deity of the polar star; Kinchinaku, the sun god. Mayans also feared solar eclipses off committing suicide rather than facing the wrath of Zulab. And this will actually become important later although seemingly not meaningful. There is a puzzle later on where you have to put a series of things together, and you have to go with, black for death, moon, star, sun, and then red for, the wrathful death god. Not that it does you much good when you can't read this later. So, hope you've been paying attention. Anyway, now we've got that code, we can go back to the cabin. And we can take a stab at this keypad. Which I believe the code on that one was... There we go.
Whoa, now there's an antique. A real 16mm projector. Looks like a post-war map of Scotland. Movie screen? Sheesh, I haven't seen one of these since I was a kid. It's a reel of 16mm film. This reel looks at least 100 years old.
Gee, I wonder why whoever went tearing through this apartment didn't open that or notice any of this. A desk drawer that, for once,
Nothing in here.
has nothing in it. And let's see, what's that say? A autopsy.
What is this? It's got to be some sort of practical joke. Wait a second. Whatever that thing is, it just moved. I think I remember some sort of alien autopsy film from years ago, but that alien was dead. This thing looks alive, but just barely. Seems to be in a lot of pain. Wonder what happened to him. Uh-oh. He doesn't look like he's gonna make it. I wonder if Malloy's disappearance is connected in some way to the contents of this film clip. Military personnel, a live alien? If it wasn't a hoax, this thing could stir things up in a big way. Maybe I shouldn't be getting involved. This is the sort of thing that gets people killed.
Which seems like a nice bit of foreshadowing to check out that obviously loose set of floorboards.
Some of these floorboards appear to be loose. Someone put some good holes in this guy. There's not much left of him, but I don't think this is Malloy, judging by the hair. Looks more like the guy in the photo downstairs. David Wright. The question is, who's responsible for this? And did they get Malloy, too?
And how the heck did that body start decomposing that quickly? But we will cover him up as best we can and head back home to ponder other mysteries. So yeah, here we are on Chandler Avenue, which you'll note has been spiffified quite a bit, and the old Bijou Theater has gotten a bit of a makeover.
The only thing in this neighborhood that's tackier than that marquee is Clint's toupee. Someone bought the old Bijou Theater and turned it into the Fuchsia Flamingo. I'm not sure if that's an improvement. The only thing in this...
Yeah.
The Fuchsia Flamingo certainly has the nicest doors on the street. The opening in the fence is for a path that leads to Coit Tower.
And, you know, everything looks better. Coit Tower still looks like, well, a big brown blob.
Coit Tower was one of the few San Francisco landmarks that survived World War III fully intact. This mailbox used to be located by the Slice of Heaven. Federal discrimination laws require that it be moved to a new location on the first of every month.
Federal discrimination laws? Don't ask.
I guess this letter didn't quite make it into the mailbox.
Uh-oh. Orphanage letter.
Uh-oh. Moral dilemma. To mail or not to mail? That is the question.
Well, not much of a question, because we are playing the good guy this time around.
I may regret this the next time I'm eating dog food for breakfast, but right now it feels pretty good. The Golden Gate Hotel was shut down a couple of months ago. Turns out it's a big fire trap. I hear the owners are planning on gutting it and then fixing it up.
So unfortunately, we will not be able to go pester Ardo this time around.
I guess they have to keep this door locked now that people are storing their stuff here. The title to this warehouse has been passed around more times than a 50-cent piece. Right now it's owned by Acme Storage.
Yeah, it used to be the Snow White dry cleaner.
A sermon on the joys of not eating meat, to be delivered by Reverend Gary. Okay. Oh, the Coco Cabana. I heard that Clint, the local chocolate junkie, opened some kind of business up at Coit Tower.
Yes, that would be Clint the Bum from Under a Killing Mood, who I don't think they ever actually gave his name as Clint in that game.
So, this door is the delivery entrance for the Fuchsia Flamingo.
But yeah, you can see we've got nice fencing all over the neighborhood now, blocking off what used to be the radioactive debris. And hello.
Some unlucky soul lost his wallet. So, my landlord dropped his wallet, and it's full of cash. Of course, I could return it.
And this being the good guy path, that is exactly what we will do. The good news is we will never have to deal with Nilo ever again after this.
Como está, pea-brain? Must be nice now you don't need to sneak in through the back. So, what do you want? Got a whole new respect for you, snotface.
Hey, 10 points. Plus $1 million on the path of virtue.
Oh, Chelsea's not at the newsstand. That's strange. I wonder if she's at her apartment.
And as long as we're looking at everything on the street today.
Looks like the cops put one of their computerized locks on the door. Rusty the Clown used to own this place, then he mysteriously disappeared. In my last case, I found his body hidden in the back. Cops came in a few weeks ago and carried out Rusty's remains and locked everything up. Rook's Pawn Shop. That's a clever name.
And then down here we got the Slice of Heaven pizzeria, or what's left of it.
The Slice of Heaven's been vacant for months. During one of my previous cases, I did a job for the former owner, Francesca Lucido. Helped her get a divorce from her dirtbag husband, and she took him to the cleaners. Last I heard, she was dating some young stud named Julio and renting a condo in Miami Beach.
And now this is new.
I wonder why I never noticed this door here before. Yeah, floors and stairs in here are all pretty dusty. Doesn't look as though anybody's been in here for a while. That box looks like it's empty. Yeah, old shipping boxes. It's a bottle of something. Yummy. 25-year-old scotch.
Muddy River Scotch.
Nothing interesting here.
And hey, the alley behind Rook's.
Sure looks like this door's painted on.
Well, looks are deceiving. Seppo Coco Man? Choco Man. Fedoras stink. No PIs, and somebody who does not like us.
Most of the graffiti around here isn't even worth reading. Creative, petty vandalism just doesn't excite the kids like it used to.
Alright, well.
The bank's never open, and the ATM machine, of course, is broken. Go figure. Ah, the electronics shop. I have to laugh every time I think about all the free stuff I picked up with my bogus electronics shop credit card.
Alright, well, now that we've gotten that tour and grabbed everything that isn't nailed down, it's time for us to start paying off some debts.
Rook's been running his pawn shop since sometime before the Eisenhower administration. He's a crusty, mean-spirited little troll who's rumored to have a heart of gold. Yeah, sure. He lets me buy things on credit occasionally, but then he nags me ruthlessly until I pay up. We get along all right, as long as I keep my bills settled.
Up already, Murphy? And it isn't even lunchtime yet. Or am I still asleep? Having a horrible nightmare.
Well, let's see. Make Rook's dreams come true. Pay Rook a nice compliment. Let's keep it simple. For Rook is a simple man of simple desires. What he desires is more of my money.
Here you go, Shorty. I told you I'd pay you back as soon as I got a case, didn't I?
Well, let's pop the champagne and have a parade. Murphy paid me back.
Play it straight, question Rook's motives, complain about Rook's miserly ways. We're going to play this straight. Not poke him with the stick today.
I'd love to drink some bubbly with you, Rook, but I'm pretty busy with the case. That's another reason why I stopped by.
Ordinarily, Murphy, I'd tell you what to do with your irritating questions. But after all, you did pay me back. I suppose I can spare you a few moments.
All right, then. Well, let's go ahead and ask about the newspaper photo of Malloy.
I've seen this man before. He came into my pawn shop several weeks ago and pawned an item. If you want to find out what he pawned, I suggest you find him and ask him.
Okay, let's check about the scarf.
I don't know a thing about it.
All right.
The man in your photo told me his name was Tyson Matthews.
About Sandra?
Never heard the name in my life.
Wow, you've never known anybody named Sandra before? That seems unlikely. I might as well ask about stuff in the neighborhood.
The warehouse was turned into a storage facility. I have items stored there myself. The rates are very reasonable. That's the name of the man in the photo? He only came in here once.
All right. And long as we're here...
I need to redeem this receipt.
You didn't pawn this.
Well, how much is it? Look, I'm willing to pay extra.
$200. Yep, plus $50 for it not being your receipt.
All right.
Well, I hope my new purchase will help me out. So this is the item Malloy pawned. I'm no expert, but this thing looks pretty ancient. Wonder where it came from.
Huh. Well, I think that's all we can do with Rook for the moment. Go ahead and exit to the street. And since the electronic shop is staring us right in the puss, let's go ahead and settle our bill there.
The electronic shop opened last year, and I got to know the previous owner, Ham Underwood. I got an electronic shop credit card under somewhat shady circumstances, and I ran up a good-sized bill during my last case. I hear there's a new owner now, some guy named Zach Williams.
The 80s rock music really didn't fit this very well.
Hold it right there. Get your hands up where I can see them. All right, now, take out your electronic shop credit card. Ah. Nice and easy. So you're Murphy. I just got your photo from the credit department. We were wondering when you'd show up here again. I got orders about you. Straight from corporate headquarters. Sorry I gotta do this. But now then, what can I do for you?
Let's see, use a terrible pun to try and break the ice, try and get the last laugh. I don't think I've ever done the pun approach.
Well, I guess this means my credit's shot. You know, I'm almost certain I sent you people a payment.
Really? I wonder why we haven't received it.
Begging and pleading should be beneath us, but we are going with the nice guy approach. I mean, the actual nice guy approach.
Okay. I've been down on my luck lately, but whatever happened to old-fashioned love and compassion?
Your account is over 120 days delinquent, and you owe us $1,230.
Say what?
That amount includes one fax machine, $399, one laser blade, $29, a film developing kit, $179.
For that piece of crap?
You bought it. And $623 in interest.
What?
$623 in interest.
Well, we're stuck dead to rights on this, so.
All right, all right. Here's your money. Now, when do I get my new credit card?
You don't. From now on, it's cash only. If you see something you like, ask me about it, and I'll give you a price.
Well, that has just about cleared us out. Yeah, it's the same pile of 20s that we had. Back when we had 4,000, now it's just 120. So yeah, we're too broke to get anything here now. But at least we've got all but one of our debts covered. And I think I know someplace we can go to cover our last one.
Danger, contaminated area. No. Contamination around here?
In a filthy sewer? The devil, you say?
This looks like the kind of money belt the drug dealers are wearing these days. I think I could put this money to a more productive use than any drug dealer could.
And that has given us $320. Which should be more than enough for us to square things with the last person on the block we owe money to. Our good old buddy Louis Laments. And see what I mean about the fences?
Another standard issue section of fence. Smells like Louis's got a batch of his special chili simmering in the kitchen over at the brewing stew.
Well, let's head on in.
The Brew and Stew, Louis's diner, is more of a home to me than my place at the Ritz. Louis's probably my best friend if I have one. He's always making sure I get enough to eat, and he runs me tabs for months at a time. My current debt is up to $200. But with the smell of fresh coffee and Louis's special home cooking, the Brew and Stew always has the welcome sign turned on.
Life! I noticed you talking to that older gentleman last night. I bet Rook $20 that he hired you to do some work for him.
Well, happy news.
Well, I'm happy to report that Rook owes you $20. Though I'm sure he's going to be real happy about paying off the bet.
I think Rook's only nice to members of the fairer sex, and not too many of them. So I was right. You did get a job.
Yeah, he did. And he gave me a nice retainer, too. Thinking about spending some of the money on Chelsea. She'll let me.
Chelsea's like a souffle, Mike. Treat her real gentle, and don't hurry things too much. She's pretty soft inside.
Stop, Louis. You're making me hungry. Listen, we can talk about women and food later, huh? Right now, I need to see if you know anything that can help me out.
But first things first.
You're okay in my book, Mike.
And that got us 20 points.
Yeah, I remember this guy. Came in here to eat a couple times. Probably a month ago. I remember this scarf. And the perfume on it. Young, blonde girl. Came in
Hoiby.
here a while ago. In fact, she came in here with the guy in the photograph.
And now I wonder if he would have mentioned the photograph if I hadn't shown it to him first. Probably would have.
Well, Mike, if I had to guess, I'd say it's written in Yucatec. It's a Mayan language spoken in southern Mexico. I can't help you with the translation, though. You know who might be able to help you is Clint. I heard he's quite a world traveler. You might give it a try.
Twabla? Alright, well, let's go ahead and ask about...
That's the guy in the photo, right? I only saw him the one time. She was real pretty, though a little heavy on the makeup. I think she said her name was Emily. I don't know anything else about her. I don't know nothing but English, and not much of that.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know who she is. I'm pretty sure I've never heard that name. The cops came in and closed that place down a couple weeks ago. Turns out they found Rusty's body in there. Someone dumped him in a barrel of acid. Created a lot of conversation in here, I tell you. That warehouse changes owners like partners at a square dance. I guess it's some kind of storage unit now. I saw Malden a couple weeks ago when the cops came by to clean out Rusty's place. He hasn't changed much, except around the waistline. I guess that's the name of the girl who sings up at the Fuchsia Flamingo. I haven't seen her in action. That's the new club up the street. Seems real nice. I gotta get up there sometime. I don't like to talk bad about people, so I got nothing to say about Nilo.
And that's all we can get out of Louis for the moment. But that's all we need. So let's go and ask Clint about this letter.
The Coco Cabana was just opened by a reformed bum named Clint. I met him during my last case when he was living in a dumpster in an alley behind Rook's pawn shop.
Yeah.
And this will give us one more opportunity to be nice to somebody who goes out of their way to abuse us. So we're just going to go right to it, give Clint some business.
I thought I'd just come by, check out your place. Maybe order myself a snack. How about a vanilla shake?
Vanilla's for pansies. The only thing I serve here is pure creamy chocolate. And if that's too strong for you, well, then get lost.
Okay, let's go with the house special.
Okay, well, let's see the menu. Oh, your house special looks interesting. Clint's enchanting chocolate chili. That come con carne?
Read the sign again, bonehead. It says, sorry, no carne. Besides, I'm all out of the chocolate chili. Sorry.
Tell you what, why don't you surprise me? I'd like something tasty, but not too rich.
Sorry, I happen to be out of everything at the moment. In fact, I was just about to close up for the day. So unless you have something important on your mind, well, why don't you just run along? Well, look, I appreciate the gesture, but no thanks. I've seen this scarf before. A girl came by here wearing it.
All right.
Emily? Yeah, you must be talking about the girl who sings at the Flamingo. She's come by here a couple times with a gigantic guy named Gus Leach.
All right.
He runs the Fuchsia Flamingo, and he might be Emily's boyfriend. They come by every once in a while and order the bliss on a biscuit. Actually, Now that you mention it, the last time those two were here, Leach dropped a key under his seat, and I didn't find it until after they left. I've been meaning to run it down to the Flamingo, but if you're gonna go that way, drop it off for me. Yeah, I remember Emily mentioned someone named Thomas, but I didn't catch the last name.
Huh, okay.
Louis told me that you might be able to help me out.
Ah, how's that?
Well, he says you're quite a world traveler. Tell me what you make of this.
Let's see. Ah, yeah, here it is. The cheese factory is on fire. Hell, I can't read any of that crap. Jesus, I tell Louis I went to Tijuana a couple times and now what? Suddenly I'm Marco Polo?
Well, so much for that dead end.
Never heard of her. Did you know that there's some kind of secret door that comes out of Rusty's funhouse over by the warehouse? I saw the cops open it when they were there last week.
Huh.
Oh, I wish I could help you. It's a warehouse. What do you want me to say? That's Emily's stage name. The Flamingo seems like a decent club, but there's no chocolate on the menu, so, why bother? This scarf belongs to Emily. Love that perfume. Smells almost as good as fresh chocolate.
All right.
So Emily works at the Flamingo with someone named Gus Leach. Now that I got the key, maybe I should go ahead and pay him a little visit.
Yeah, the entertainment mode sometimes goes a little too far in trying to push you in the direction to go.
It's all locked. This little baby's my ticket into the Fuchsia Flamingo. This little baby...
Boy, went into an impressive amount of trouble getting that engraved on the key. Of course, now I wonder how did he get back in here if he lost his key.
Didn't mean to wake you, Emily. I'm sorry. How did you get in here?
Yeah, since we're going good guy path, we're not going to beat about the bush. I don't think, because if you remember the first two playthroughs, Gus is not the most friendly sort to begin with. So let's go straight to business.
You recognize this? It's your key. You dropped it down by Coy Tower, but I brought it by just to check and make sure it was the right one.
Well, you're a regular Boy Scout, aren't you?
Yeah, attempt at blatant charm, bitter scout memory, try for some information. I don't think trying to joke around is going to help, so let's straighten business like.
What's funny you'd say that, because I used to be a Boy Scout, Troop 77. But now I'm a PI, and I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What's that smell?
Again, straightforward, we're going to show off the scarf.
I'm not sure, but my best guess is this is what you're smelling. Oh, it's not mine. Really?
Where'd you get this?
And again, tell it straight.
Well, I found it next door at the Ritz. That's where I live, and I've been trying to find out who it belongs to.
I'll make sure it gets to the right person. Now, why don't you run along before I call the cops?
Well, I'm not sure, but I think Mr. Leach and I hit it off pretty darn well. At least he told me what I wanted to know. Emily lives at the Flamingo. Now I'll just have to find another way into the club, get past that big mutant. Maybe Chelsea could help. Seems to me she mentioned having a membership to the club. If she's home, I'll apologize and see if she'll go out for a drink with me. Maybe at the Fuchsia Flamingo.
And that is, in fact, a hint as to where we're supposed to go to next. But, again, we know that trying to get Chelsea and exploit her as a means into getting into the Flamingo, bad idea. Thankfully,
when I get to Chelsea's apartment at the Four Gables, there's a knot in my stomach as big as a cantaloupe. She's probably convinced I stood her up. I'll be lucky if she even talks to me.
Yeah, thankfully there is another way into the Fuchsia Flamingo, but if we mess up this conversation with Chelsea, we won't be able to use it. So now it's time to get on our knees and beg and plead and apologize and give up our dignity once again in the name of being the good guy.
Hi. You're just a little late, aren't you?
Yeah, and we got go for the ice cream, fake a misunderstanding. We're going to head her off at the pass.
Okay. I know this looks really bad, and you're probably really upset with me.
You're damn right I'm upset. I didn't deserve to be stood up.
Try for some pity, don't mince words, my way or the highway.
This has to be one of the worst days of my life. I finally get a date with you and somebody decides to knock me out. I wouldn't blame you if you never talked to me again.
Oh, I have heard a lot of lame excuses, but this has got to be the worst one ever.
Slightly offended, tender and pathetic, agree. Yeah, let's not overplay the patheticness, but yeah, if we were going to come up with an excuse, we'd have a much better one.
I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's true. I was out for like 16 hours.
And why should I believe you?
Let's see, resort to physical evidence, integrity through scouting, establish trust in the relationship. You know, we are totally going to try and go for trust.
I told you before, Chelsea, I am crazy about you. And I'd do anything to make you crazy about me. I couldn't help not being here last night. But if you're not going to believe me, we might as well call it quits right now. I mean, we'll never get anywhere if you can't take me at my word.
You're right. I'm sorry. I was just really looking forward to seeing you, and, well, then you didn't come, and well, I figured you'd changed your mind.
Let's see, cowboy romance, stunned reaction, back up with the physical evidence. At this point, I think we can safely say, yeah, well, look.
No way. You can feel the bump on my head if you want.
Ooh. Are you okay?
Let's see, resigned to pain, in need, manly and thirsty. Let's go with in need.
Nothing a little TLC and 4 fingers of bourbon wouldn't take care of.
I am really not in any shape to go out for a drink. I've been up all night and I am a total wreck. Give me a day or two to recover and, well, we'll start all over. Okay?
Okay.
I am sorry that you had a bad night. And I'm even more sorry that I got so mad at you. Have a good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Fuchsia Flamingo proudly presents your entertainment.
I fly back home and walk over to the front door of the Flamingo. Luckily, someone other than Leach is checking the memberships. I get a nice older couple to sponsor me, and I'm in like Flynn. Looks like Lucy Love is wearing the scarf I gave to Leach. Nice to meet you, Emily. Now I just gotta figure out how to get a minute of your time. Unfortunately, Leach hasn't taken his eyes off me since I sat down. He's probably wondering how I got in. I better get a move on before he throws me out. As soon as he gives me an opening, I'll see if I can slip upstairs to Emily's apartment.
But we do still get to watch a little bit of her act. And now we get to do it without having Chelsea give us the death glare as we start drooling.
Come near me, don't scream. I mean it.
Hold on. I just need to talk to you for a minute.
What do you want?
My name's Tex Murphy. I'm looking for Thomas Malloy.
I know you.
Have we met?
No, you're a detective, right? Listen, I have to get ready for my next set. Why don't you have a seat right over here? I've heard you can help people.
I do my best.
You think you can help me?
Well, it depends on the problem.
I think someone's gonna murder me.
Why would you think that?
It started a couple days after Thomas left. I got a weird call. Someone asking where Thomas had gone. I told them I didn't know, and they hung up. A couple days later, I found a note in my room. After I read it, I was so scared. I told Gus. He told me not to worry about it. That it was just some freak who gets off on scaring women. But I know it's not like that. It's serious.
Well, this sounds like something the police ought to handle.
Gus says he'll protect me. He doesn't want the police or anyone else taking care of me. I know he means well. But sometimes... But he's always been so good to me. I don't know what to do.
I'll need to take a look at the note, if you still got it.
I do. But I tore it up after I read it. I was gonna throw it away, but I decided to save it and give it to the police.
Good girl. Now, have you received any calls or messages like this since then?
No. But I feel like someone's watching me.
I'll check that out. By the way, did you tell me your real name?
Emily. Emily Sue Patterson.
Listen, Emily, I'll do what I can. But you gotta promise me that you'll tell me everything about Dr. Malloy.
Well, that's probably fair. I think I can trust you. Why are you looking for him?
Actually, I was hired by a friend of his to find him.
Hey, Emily, you're on it. What the hell are you doing in here?
Gus, it's okay. He just came up for an autograph picture. I'll be right
Get the photo
down.
another time. Get the hell out.
We were done anyway. Good night, Lucy.
Don't bother going back to your table. Just keep on walking right out of my club. If I see the flamingo again, I'll break your legs.
Well, my bar tab's on the table. Guess that means the drinks are on you. Night, Leech.
And yeah, that was a very productive day 2. And that leads us into day 3, the Black Arrow Killer. But we're not quite ready to close this video out just yet.
Men are imbeciles, women are erratic. Is this any good?
Well, not really. The guy generalizes too much, and I think all people who generalize are idiots.
Well, I'll have to cross that off my list of things to do.
Well, let's see. Polite, down to business, said the spider to the fly. Well, we've got Chelsea in our place. We don't want to overplay our hand, though. Like Louis said, she is a souffle. Keep it gentle, but don't rush it. But after last night, we don't want to be too businesslike, so let's go down to business.
Okay. But enough small talk. You didn't come by to discuss my reading habits. What's on your mind?
Oh, you know how we women are. I've just been thinking things over again.
Well, let's see. We've got defend the male gender, threaten with booze, enough already.
Oh, it's not a gender issue. I've been known to think things over on occasion.
Yeah, well, I finally reached a firm decision. I think. Something you said the other day has stuck in my head. You know, you told me that if I left, that you'd still be here when I got back. Did you mean that?
Is this a trick question? Total slam. Tex Murphy, man in demand. Yeah, well, we are not going to slam her on this. You know, let's not push it on the trust issues. And man demand, yeah. Good-natured, goofy response.
Listen, Chelsea. I've been like a rabbit in heat whenever I was near you for a long time now. But if there's one thing I've learned from you, it's patience. I can wait for you to come around.
It's nice to hear. I've decided I need a break. Time to decide what I want to do with the rest of my life. There's just one thing I need to ask you before I go. Tell me what you think about love. You know, romantic love.
Texas philosophy of love, 3 adjectives for bad love, the voice of bitter experience. Yeah, well, given everything with Sylvia, bitter experience seems true to Tex's character.
In my experience, love is like a 70-foot bungee jump with an 80-foot cord.
Sounds like you're not too interested in trying it again.
Make her laugh, not interested in love, interested but not in a hurry. Well, you know, this is always what I've managed to make work, my personal life, and she does seem like Tex's sense of humor, so let's go for the laugh.
What, bungee jumping?
Very funny. You know what I mean.
Okay, well, considering all of our options again, let's go with not interested, pretty interested, interested. We're taking it slow.
Oh, no, it's not that. It's just I've got to be more careful this time. Same thing if I ever do the bungee thing again. Next time I won't eat a whole plate of nachos right before I jump.
Oh, I feel the same way. Oh, about being careful and not rushing into anything. Although, I must admit, of late, I've had some pretty strong impulses about you.
Tell me about these impulses.
Oh, doctor, I've had this urge to do something like... We can't do this. It just could be too dangerous.
But I like danger. I like acrobatic danger right here on...
Look, Tex, I am really attracted to you. I mean, like, really. In fact, lately I've even been imagining what it would be like to, you know. And, well, that's why I need to take this trip to Phoenix to make sure I'm thinking with my head. Oh, I can't guarantee anything. But when I come back, don't be surprised if I come looking for you, Mr. Murphy. And you better be ready.
Man, I can't decide if Chelsea's really interested or if she just likes torturing me. Either way, I think I'll take a nice cool shower and get back to work. Maybe looking at the note Emily gave me last night will help keep my one-track mind off Chelsea.
And that is where we will pick things up next time. I'll see you all then.